Right, welcome back to the show. And this is the final leg of Good Morning Ghana. Today, Thursday, the 17th day of October 2024. And it's time to have our conversation with the Minerals Commission, and the CEO, Mr. Martin Ayisi, is here with me on the show. Good morning, Martin.
Morning.
Right. So today you want us to talk about capacity building. You are the regulator in that space. I guess that your sector is the number one talking point as far as news in this country is concerned. We had even some major news items to discuss this morning, but because of time, we're shifting them to tomorrow. Well, now, why is capacity building important from the point of view of the minerals? Why is it an issue? Why is it a big deal?
Ronnie, good morning. And last week, I think I was on my way here, and then I had to attend an important meeting. So apologies for that. Two issues. One is just if you can indulge me, and you'll be shocked. The other one, I'll address it next week. I've been seeing a lot of issues arising on licenses, but next week I'll address that.
Okay.
I will have time and address it properly because people go to our website and mix all kinds of things. You know, they are not able to distinguish between what is prospecting license, mining leases, and small scale. So you see all kinds of figures being bundled around. I'll address that properly. I was supposed to do that last week, but I missed. But before we come to capacity building, but for something my late mother did, perhaps I would have been a footballer.
Okay.
I was good in football. I used to play for Olympics babies because we grew up in Newtown. But the focus was more of education than doing the football. But that's just by the way. I was listening to the comments from Dr. Kwadna Donko and then the other colleague. It's like this mining thing. We have to be patient. Remember Iceland beat UK? And yesterday there was a whole commentary on the last time the English won. I stand to be corrected. I hear they have the most competitive league in the world.
Yes.
The last time they won the World Cup was 1966.
Yes.
So they are chasing something we've also been chasing since 82. That is the African Cup. So a lot of patience is required here. A lot of patience. It's like this mining thing. I've always urged that the fundamental issue is until we unravel the issue of geological investigation and we do that aggressively, we'll not go anywhere. Many of these things that we are doing will address the problem to some extent. Again, I'll come back to that. So we should be patient. I see the anger in like the wholesale replacement of the guys outside who they said they are not hungry enough, they should replace them with local, etc. But, you know, like mining, we have 35 million coaches in Ghana. So we should be patient. Nobody could think that Comoros could beat us or Iceland could beat, England. But that is just by the way. Randy, one of the issues that we have been grappling with, and not just in Ghana, the entire African continent, is how effective and efficient many of our public institutions are. Remember, if you remember in a certain era, the issue of even the judiciary came in. The number of cases on land alone in Accra is mind-blowing. So we brought this fast-track court. They should sit at a certain time. It's all various attempts to make sure that we become very efficient. So when you circle back to our area, Randy, let me start this way. In all the 16 regions in Ghana, practically mining activities or operations are taking place. And let me explain this carefully, because people keep asking me what kind of activities are in Greater Accra. By that I mean that in each of the 16 regions, you find some kind of either exploration for a particular mineral or and some mining going on. So if you take Greater Accra, you go to Shire Hills area, you have a lot of quarries around. That's mining. We regulate them. So that is it. So years back, the concentrations were in just 5 regions. I mean, seriously, large-scale Western region, Central, Ashanti, even Upper East was basically small scale. And then things have expanded rapidly. So you need to build capacity. In terms of capacity building, I'll tackle it from 4 angles, just to demonstrate what government has been doing. A lot has been done, but I'll speak to the last 3 years when I've been CEO, because I became CEO in March 2021. Earlier, I was the deputy CEO. So I want to look at first whether or not we have the numbers. You see, Randy, this fits into the whole illegal mining issue, because you listen to people on various radio stations, they talk about, are you well equipped? Do you have the numbers to put on the ground? So do we have enough staff to be able to do the job? That's number 1. Number 2, having enough staff is not enough. Are they properly trained and equipped to be able to meet the demands of the industry, having regard to the fact that you have mines who are even richer than the country? One just bought, one company that just came in just came in and bought a mine for 1 billion. So that tells you the kind of industry we are dealing with. And then whether we have the offices, the equipment, the tools, and co to work. And then, of course, motivation is also one. Whether the staff go and come and all those things. So I may not be able to finish this today, but we'll be able to continue sometime next week, because people must also understand whether you have the tools to work with. So number 1, let me start this way. Randy, is not about money. I'll tell you why. We are not capped. In other words, once we decide that we need this kind of money and we take it to our minister, and then it goes to parliament, it's approved. So the cap has been taken off. So it's not as if you want 10 cedis, you go and then parliament will have to approve 7. Or Minister of Finance will say, no, you can't get 7, we even give you 5. No, so we are not capped. The cap has been removed. What is important, what the parliamentarians need to know, or what the minister normally asks, is whether you'll be able to raise the money and whether government can put in a lot. So that is the first thing. We are not capped. That is it. As at March to date, we have recruited about 38 new inspectors. 38 new inspectors. And let me explain who an inspector is, because people keep asking. An inspector primarily is an officer of the Minerals Commission who has been trained to basically go and conduct monitoring inspections at the mine. And because several things are found at the mine, they come from different backgrounds. So some of the inspectors are machinery, because you have a lot of machinery at the mine. So you need mechanical engineer. That is it. Some of them go to the processing plant to make sure that things are functioning properly. So you need metallurgists. Or they come from chemical engineering background. Sometimes you see people who do chemistry and later do a top-up in chemical engineering. So you can find an inspector metallurgy. Okay? And then you have inspector machinery, that's mechanical. And then you have those who do geotech. Everything, on land has to do with slope, stability. You want to prevent caving at the dam stable, etc. Because we don't want a situation where there's a dam collapse. As usual, we set up committee of inquiry, and then one of the issues that will come up is that, the stability, the ground slope, and it all boils down to geotech. So then they will tell you that right from day one, the inspectors, they don't see to it that the right thing is done, and then they will now say, you didn't have the right geotech guys. Those who train at geotech, mining engineers can train at geotech, those who do geological engineering, and then those from particularly civil engineering background. So we need geotechnical engineers, mine surveyors, etc. So it's a whole host of skills or inspectors that we need. So let's say if you go to Kumasi office, you find a lot of mechanical engineers, civil engineers, geotechnical engineers, mining engineers, and even those who have done environmental engineering. So these are, when I say inspectors, these are the kind of thing I'm talking about, and they go as a group. So you don't just have one person going for inspection. You find an inspector, there's a mechanical guy who will be there, there is the guy who in charge of processing plant, in environment, the person in charge of tailings dam and all those. They go with a very senior inspector to go and do that. That's number one. And two, they are certified. So mere holding of a degree in any of this engineering background does not necessarily mean you're an inspector. So for instance, to put somebody in charge of the mine, he has to be certified. Like, you can't just send somebody to the Supreme Court. There's some basic number of years you should have practiced for, 15 years, have a certain skill set, etc. It's the same for High Court, the same for the Court of Appeal. The same thing in the military. You can't just get up and be made an army commander. You must have some kind of training and be of a certain rank. So it's the same thing here. So let's say when we say a mine manager, it means that the person has gone through blasting, he's passed his mine formal exam, he's gone through superintendent, mine captain, and then he has a mine manager certificate. And even that one, if you hold a mine manager certificate, you cannot be employed by another company to be the mine manager of an underground mine. You understand that? The underground guys can run surface, but the surface, no. So you can see somebody, 20 years experience, he has a mine manager certificate, he's never worked underground, will not allow you, and they take exams. So in brief, these are the inspectors. So it's not about numbers, we have it. We have enough numbers, to do the work. That's number one. Number two, condition of service, very good. We may not have the kind of millions or billions, if you like, that the mining companies pay. But Randy, out of these 38 I mentioned this morning, at least about half came from the mines to join us. So we also have a lot of people leaving the mines and joining us. In the past, it used to be the other way. So conditions of service are quite good. They are well motivated. And then for me, which has been, if you like, one of my success stories, they say the sword does not praise itself. Or as they say in the local language in Chi, in Chini Kamfuni. Randy, training is everything. You understand that? You can have a policeman you send out for a mission and then it will be catastrophic. Or just like a lawyer who you give him a case or a brief and then the prosecution will go in a funny way. And then you realize that it's because he's not properly trained or he's not just good at his job. So this is what we do. As I speak to you, we have 12 mine inspectors in Australia. 12 of them in Australia. In US, there are about 12. Then we have 9 in UK. And then you also have 3 in Canada. I want to underscore 2 things. Number one, we take them to the best mining engineering schools in the world. The best. So if you mention even the top 10 or top 5 mining engineering schools in the world, you have Mincom guys there. So the likes of Colorado, which is the best in the world, Curtin, University of Western Australia, that is it. So we take them to the best so that they get the best. That's number one. Number two, we are doing something that is rare in the public service. And this time around, I'll say I want to boast about it. The kind of training we are undertaking, you don't find it in any public service in Ghana. And what do I mean by that? When our people finish the program, they stay and work in the mines. So as I speak to you right now, live in this very studio, we have 2 of Mincom staff that have completed. One completed Colorado, one has completed Geotech. They are working in the largest gold mine in the world. And I'm very serious about that. What is that mine? It's Nevada Gold Mines. The 2 mines are owned by Barrick and Newmont. These are the 2 biggest mines. The 2 of them, when you add their market capitalization, is more than our GDP. So they don't just go for some 2-3 months or whatever. They are there for like 3 years. They are bonded and they come back. So when you are in Nevada Gold Mines, they operate both open pits and then underground. So there's a guy who is there. He's underground. That's about 1.37 kilometers. So it means that practically it's deeper than that of Obuasi and even Wasa. So that's the way we do it. The same in Canada, the same in US, and the same in Australia. There's a senior inspector we took to Australia. He's completed. He's now working in the second biggest gold producing company in Australia, Northern Star. He's due in this December. I'm sure the public that is listening to us, they'll be asking the question, will they come back? Yes, they come back. I know that's one of the big issues here. You send people abroad and then they don't come back. As I speak, 6 has returned. The guy in charge of Bibiani, he returned from Cantonment School of Mine. The guy in Obuasi has also come back from Cantonment School of Mine. And then one also came back from Colorado. So the way our scheme is designed, they come back. There's nobody in the history of Minerals Commission that has been sent abroad and then they've not come back. How do we find them? In 3 ways. One, we get full scholarship for some of them. So there's a young metallurgist, he's in Australia, he's on 100% scholarship, funded by the university. He's doing research on lithium. Young boy. Some get partial funding, 25%, some 50, some 75 we pay. And then in some of the specialized areas, when we then got scholarship, we fund them ourselves. So that is that. And I'm talking about close to 40 inspectors spread across Ghana, learning. There's no public institution that can hit, no CEO in any public institution can hit his chest and say that they are doing what we are doing. I don't know of any public institution. Perhaps you can do that for the medical doctors, where you by virtue of your specialization, you have to do it in a hospital. But that is what we are doing. And this year alone, as I said, 6 has come back. Next year, another 4. So they will keep coming back in those. So as some go, some will be coming. So that is that in terms of the numbers we have it, still growing, and then the quality of training we are giving. Randy, I'm focusing on this world-class training because I've been telling you this, and I think you've heard it several times. The Chinese have just come in. China's Xinjiang is a big company. Their market cap is 60 billion. They bought a team for 1 billion. We are almost going through the processes. They very soon they'll go underground. I've just been advised Cardinal will be commissioned sometime in the first week in November. So when you go to Subika Underground, owned by Newmont, which by the end of next year to become the biggest gold mine in Africa and among the top 5, if you're an inspector, you go there. We are in an era of robotics and artificial intelligence. So here you are, you send your inspector electrical. That's something I also need to add, because you have all kinds of electrical installation. Or you send one of your inspectors who are in charge of ventilation, and that's one of the critical skills we are looking for now, ventilation engineers, because of the underground. So you enter Subika Underground or Boasin Underground, and then he starts looking at the sky and he doesn't know what is there. He's never seen that kind of equipment before. You understand that? So you leave, they laugh at you. Okay, because an inspector, I keep saying this, and that's what my chief inspector of mines tell me, and the inspectors. When you enter a mine, the first thing is to be able to spot a potential health and safety hazard. So the moment you even enter a mine and even signs are not properly placed, okay, all the engineers at the mine there, they laugh, you leave and they laugh at you. You couldn't even spot a sign, because you see, the placement of a sign alone, where it points to alone, can create an accident and can also avoid an accident. So by far, these are some of the things that we are doing, and it will continue. My time, it was not like that. There is no way you could be sent abroad for training, even if you get 100% scholarship, and you can stay beyond 1 month. But I don't believe in that, because I'm expected to be a better lawyer than my father. That's the only way society will progress. There's no way in the history of Minerals Commission since 1984, we are 40 years now, that a Mincom inspector completed school and he's allowed to stay up to 3 years. So the senior ones stay 1 year. So Colin Sakwe, for instance, who completed Curtin, that's the best mining engineering school in Australia, number 2 in the world. He completed in January. We bought his ticket. He's coming 28 December. 1 year is now for him to freshen up. Because during the 2-year period, the long vac, they were going to the mine. So Northern Star took him. He doesn't need 3 years. He spent 6 years in Obuasi and joined Minerals Commission. So 1 year is good to freshen up. The younger ones, who are 4 or 5 years and join us from the mines or straight from UMac, they stay 2 years or 3 years. You see, and this is an experience money cannot buy. I never saw that, and I want the public to hear me out. 2nd April 2002. So more or less, I've been doing this job for 22 and a half years. Throughout, and the records are there. Okay? I never saw the founding CEO of Minerals Commission, Mr. Kofi Ansah, started it. He took the lives of Mr. Ayi, who later became CEO for 13 years, now advisor to the minister. They took them out, McGill and all those places to go and learn. And then they will come back. We have taken it to another level where now you stay and work in the mine, world-class mine. So we are basically replicating at Minerals Commission what Mr. Sir Sam Jonah did at the mines, and for which today we boast of having the best mining engineers and geosciences in the world, not just Africa. So what he was doing was that when he was in charge of Ayisi, and he became the managing director of Ashanti Goldfields at age 36. So as part of indigenizing the sector, he was sending a lot of people. He himself went to Cantonment, where we're taking a lot of Minerals Commission staff. He was sending people to UK, Australia, and co. And many of the CEOs that are running the mines now, many of the mine managers, even some of them have retired. They were the young guys those days when Sir Sam Jonah was in charge of Ashanti, which was basically Ghana's icon. So we are replicating what he did in the industry, in the government sector. And I want people to know that is how far we are being equipped. The last bit, which you know of, within the last 2 years or so, we've lined up 10 offices. It's all part of the expansion. So we have the Ashanti Regional Office Complex, which will be completed this year. We have the Tamale Regional Office Complex, which will also be completed this year. Savannah has been elevated to a region because of the sheer activities taking place there. That building will also be completed. So we have elevated Savannah to a region. Other than that, Bole used to be a satellite office, and Awa later became district. Now it's a region. Upper West is now a region. Upper East is now a region. The district offices are still there, though, to handle small scale Ashanti. So the new offices being built are the regional office for Upper West in Wa, the regional office for Savannah in Bole, regional office for Borga, Upper East in Borga, and then a new regional office for the northern region in Tamale. By far is the most iconic building. So 4 regional offices are being built. The elevation has been done. One was done when I was a deputy CEO Tamale. These other 3 were done recently because of the report. So that is it. And then the small scale offices and the other offices are Kimodan Commission, Bibiani Commission, and we're doing Chebi to look at the corridor between Greater Accra and Koforidua. So 10, and more will be added next year, Saltpond, so that it will be ready before Lithium, and other offices. So these are the kind of things that are happening. And within 3 years, so much has been done that we couldn't even do in 30, 40 years. I'm not boasting because I'm the CEO, but these are things that are verifiable. So in brief, the capacity building is going very well. Government understand that. That is it. I can't go into a mine and send inspectors to a mine that, if you like, can even give government a loan. Newmont. The Newmont took $13.8 billion to go and buy Newcrest. And our total export last year was 13.6 billion. That is it. And to wrap up, I've just seen the figures for the 3rd quarter. I didn't want to talk about these things too, but the public must also know how we are doing, because when you mention these figures, then the anger starts. This man is only talking about figures, and our water bodies are polluted. But you must also see the good aspects. So as at the end of the 3rd quarter, which is 30th September, so from 1st January to 30th September, exports received from gold alone is 8.3 billion. The last year gave us 5 billion, and last year was 5.6. So that means that the first 9 months of this year, we've been able to get $600 million more than the entire receipt for last year. Last year was 5.6. This year is about 5 billion. That's at September. Small scale is 3.2 billion. That's at September. The receipt alone for September is $506 million. That is the amount of gold that was sold in 1 month from small scale, $506 million. So The prediction I gave some months ago that receipts may top 10 billion or more is happening. If the average for September is $500 million for small scale, we still have 3 months to go. And the price keeps rising. We are almost heading to $2,700 now, if the trading is anything to go by. So maybe an additional 1.5, 2 billion. So we might end up with about 3.2, 1.5. So we might end up about 4 billion from small scale. And then the question you keep asking, and other Ghanaians keep asking is, at the expense of the environment or what? So that is something else we talk about. So in brief, capacity building, we are on course. We are not like any ordinary institution. And I always say that the likes of Minerals Commission, Petroleum Commission, let's say Kolebu, the teaching hospitals, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, these are specialized in these institutions that as a nation we have to agree. Just like the way when it comes to sports, we have talent across. I don't have to lecture you on sports. But we know that we have competitive advantage and superior skills and technical skills in football and boxing. What do you need? The facilities to let the best come out of them. So that is the way.
So CEO, what do you say to the Ghanaian who's watching you, who says that I hear the CEO say that in terms of capacity building, they've done what is unprecedented in the annals of...
I don't want you to use the word unprecedented because that is what is expected. Randy, it is expected that you should not even go to Kolebu for dialysis. No. Even when you step out here, Mamobi Polyclinic, there should be one there.
I use unprecedented because on about 3 or 4 instances, you did a comparative analysis.
Yes.
So that is why
I maybe unprecedented because never in the history of Minerals Commission do you finish your training abroad and you're asked to stay 2-3 years and work in a big mine and come home. So unprecedented in that sense is fine.
So the person who's watching you,
that's the Kumasi office.
Yes, and here you say that look, in terms of capacity building, what has happened over the last 3 years is unprecedented. We have the numbers, we have the quality, we have whatever. And at the same time, the country is confronted with what has been described as an environmental catastrophe or genocide. And it looks like the regulator is in all 6s or 7s because what is also happening is unprecedented. How do you reconcile the two? If you look at the figures, gold is giving us X, large scale, small scale, this, that. And then 10 billion, top of it. And then we are looking at an environmental catastrophe that perhaps will cost us 100 times more
than what we are getting.
How do we reconcile this?
Randy, the other day I heard, it's unfortunate he made that statement, but I don't have anything personal against him. I think Newsfile last week, the former MD of, it's called Edu. I think he's related to the MP who died. But it's okay, the clip is there. Randy, I keep saying this thing. Unless people don't understand the drivers of illegal mining, and we keep going round, you don't need the Holy Spirit, or it's not a rocket science for anybody to tell you that if we are saying we don't license people to go into a water body and the water is looking like Milo or is looking brownish, you need to come and lecture somebody about it. It's just a matter of going and evict them. You understand that? I want you to understand that. The aspect that has to do with the area that we talked about, people can take us on. So I'll give you an example. And I will always repeat this point wherever I go. Randy, it has been 30 years. It's not an excuse, but you should know where the problem is. And that's our behavior, like this Black Star thing. I came to this studio, and I've said it on all the media platforms. It's been 3 decades of inaction in terms of geological investigation. Do you understand that? Yes, we may get them out of the water body. We may license some of them who want to do it very well. We may provide all those things. but that will not address the problem 100%. And I'll say this anywhere. Any attempt to address Galamsey or to stop illegal mining, okay, completely, cannot be dealt with unless we put geological investigation at the center of it. Something that the commission since 1984 has been repeatedly telling government after government to do. We didn't do it. And what has made the thing worse is technology and the price of the mineral. And Randy, I came here 2 weeks ago, and I also said in another platform that at least for once, okay, everybody has come to realize that that is one of the key solutions. For me, if you ask me, it is 90%. I was very happy when the vice president said they'll make $10 million available every year for geological investigation to provide areas for the small-scale miners. I think the NDC manifesto also said they will resource geological investigation, except that they didn't tell us how to do it. They were light on funding and which aspects. So that is it. But at least for the 40 years in the Minerals Commission life, we've never seen this forcefully. So it has then just dawned on us that we do it. But then some areas are already being investigated. The Bonfa block, the Dunkwa block, and some other areas which government has started. So we will need to aggressively continue and get more areas for them. That is it. But then, when I say these people said you must be crazy or you're not being honest with us, I'm not saying that everything at Minerals Commission is perfect. But Randy, let me repeat, it is not the responsibility of the job of the Minerals Commission to go and move people out of the water body. That is the responsibility of the security agencies to do that. That is it. It is as simple as that. And recently, you saw the government has ramped up the attempts to do that. So last week or so, is in the in the eastern region, where they started moving people from the water body. So I think
we have images from Monday, just Monday. This is the same place.
Where?
You'll see it soon. Where they went to, the Achim area.
The eastern region.
Where the military went to. These are fresh images from the 14th. Annie, you can put that on. Joy.
Which area is this?
The Birim. That's where they went to, and see some champagnes and bent them. These are images from the 16th, which was yesterday. And there's a Joy FM report where their Eastern Regional correspondent went there, where the military exercise took place. And the people are back in bigger numbers and operating. Right. So these are drone images from the 16th.
Hang on for a second.
Yes.
And with due respect to you and 35 million Ghanaians listening to us,
yes,
we are not saying these things are not happening or whatever.
Yes.
But you see, the other day, it was in this same studio, and I don't want to go that route. Remember, the day Nana Kumia was here,
yes,
and then Honorable Okujeto,
yes,
I appeared before him in Parliament.
Yes.
Earlier on, I think I was in Las Vegas for a mine expo. And then he was saying that a particular company has been given a license in a forest reserve. He went there undercover, and then they went there. And then I saw a response from the ministry because they quickly checked with us. Randy, it was not in a forest reserve.
Okay, it's come back to respond to the ministry.
No, it's not in the forest reserve. Just hang on.
Yes.
I normally don't do this banter thing and all those things, but I prefer to, correct things and let's move on. If things are not factual, they are not factual.
So, are you suggesting that
these
images
published by Randy, I'm not here. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I'm not here to deny this or whatever, but I'm saying, for instance, when I made a statement that Galamsey was going on behind the police station, I think Joy FM went there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then it was in Yinem. Yes. And it was confirmed. I mean, you can see it, and it was confirmed that indeed some activities have taken place there. Yes. I don't know whether when they went there it stopped or whatever, because my checks was that an operation was conducted sometimes in me and all those things. I don't want to say anything that will make people angry, or people will get angry and alarm and say, this man is crazy, he doesn't know what he's talking about, is he not in Ghana, where does he bring his water from? what I need to understand, what I need to understand is that, are you saying, or this evidence that is being provided, are you saying that the ramp up that has started, the very place that we saw pictures and photographs being displayed, I need to understand something.
Just focus. I need only the drone photographs of where the operation was made. I just need that. Don't add any other footages. Just
Recently?
That. So
the
what the
argument
media has done is that
I need to understand
they've
carefully.
done a follow-up. What was published last week, what we're told that the military had done the operation, and the champagnes
They started a weekend.
Yes,
that part,
what was published. They've done a follow-up to the same spots, and these are the drone images. And Joy FM's Eastern Regional correspondent also filed a report. Filed a report which shows that the people are back. So what you're seeing now, these champagnes and all that, is at the same spot.
Ronnie, it takes time to assemble these things.
I don't know. I'm just saying that 16th.
So
that's yesterday. 16th. This image is 16th.
This is yesterday.
Yesterday.
And again, I'm not denying this or whatever, but I just needed to be sure whether.
And I also I find something curious.
No, but then that's worrying, because you see, what I need to know and what I need to understand, if I sit here and I make any comments, I'll be lying to you. And I don't want you to get the impression that I'm saying that this is not exist or whatever. But we've been seeing a lot of footages, videos of Galamsey sites that have taken place in Ghana here that actually do not reflect the situation.
Yeah.
So are they saying that they went there yesterday? And let's say if this studio was the very place the operation was carried out, those are the same place?
These are drone shots from yesterday.
These are drone shots?
Yes.
They didn't go to the ground?
Oh, you don't have to.
Randy,
you don't have to go to the ground.
Randy, let me say this. We are all angry. This is not acceptable, but there are a lot of footages and things that are being thrown out there, and sometimes we have to be careful. I'll give you 2 examples. Do you know that recently somebody said, there was Galamsey, it has affected Kintampo Force?
Yes.
And you saw the outcome?
Yes. Yes.
It alarmed the whole nation?
Yes.
What it turns out to be what?
To be false, yes.
To be false?
Yes.
It turns out that it was false.
Yes.
That there are certain times when there is flooding or whatever. I'm not defending these things. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
And as usual, I'm sure people are saying, look at this stupid man. If this is rah-rah, he will have condoned this or whatever. No. But I'm seeing a lot of images. Okay? So I don't know whether it's mischief, whether it is politics or whatever. So drone, you can.
I can vouch for the photographs and pictures of Adam's right side African teacher.
Ronnie, in your opening remarks, I'm not saying you are lying.
Yes.
I think you were saying that they went there to verify.
No.
I don't know whether the verification is the same as drone shots that we are doing.
No, see, you listen.
Yes.
I'm listening. There are 2 issues here. These are drone shots by Adam's Remsai, African teacher. He's been doing this. He has all over. He's been doing this.
Not the lawyer.
So no. So watch.
I can see.
Still happening on the Birim River, Galamsey. Image taken 14th.
Monday.
14/10/2024.
This Monday.
Yes. This one.
And the operation was carried when?
Last week. I was here. I discussed that military thing here. Last week. And this is the image taken on the 14th by Adam's Rice African teacher. This one. Then yesterday, Joy FM sent their Eastern Regional correspondent to those areas where the operation took place. And he reported that the guys are back there doing what they are doing. So there are 2 separate reports. There's the Joy FM Eastern Regional correspondent one, and then there are these images taken by Adam's Right African teacher on the 14th, which was last Tuesday. That's 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Right. And interestingly, we were shown that military exercise last week.
Oh, the ministry officers
I'm saying
took
we were
place.
shown that.
It took place, not that we were shown.
So let me,
because I don't want you to get the impression that it's like it's just for the Photoshop. It really occurred.
No, so I am choosing my words carefully.
Yes.
We were shown that last week. From that day till today, we have not been told of any exercise. And we have not been shown any evidence of any exercise. From that one exercise that occurred that week, last week, and we're shown like some 4 champagnes and we're told that one excavator were bent. Mm-hmm. From that one, which was put on the front pages of the papers and everything was carried widely, till today, we have not been told of any other exercise. Now, these are images of the follow-up after that military exercise. This is what journalists have done. They are follow-ups to the same place, and this is what they are reporting.
Can I also check and get back to you?
Oh, please, you can.
Because we have offices here.
Yes.
So,
and these reports have been out there from yesterday.
That's
they
okay.
are not. It's not as if we invented them. Okay. None of them is even a Metro TV report.
Yes, so don't worry. But they've
been available from yesterday.
No, Randy, but you're a Ghanaian.
Oh yes.
So don't say Metro TV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and get back to you. That's number one. And then I see beneath there, it is the banner, whatever. I don't know. It is not the work of Minerals Commission to stop illegal money rather than security agencies. You see, when they put it this way, I get worried. Because you see, somebody may just be dressing up or he may be reading that and then you get a different impression. So let me correct that.
Okay.
Randy, we have, Minerals Commission has a role to play in resolving the issue of illegal mining.
Right.
I'm not running away from that. And I'll tell you our role.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with that it is not the work of Minerals Commission to stop illegal mining. No, I'm challenging that. So let me clarify or correct that.
Right.
We have the role to play. So what is our role? Randy, the work of a Minerals Commission officer, inspector, let's use inspector, whether at the district level, satellite level, or the regional level, is to go out there and monitor, okay, undertake monitoring, and then ensure that persons who have been given licenses follow the rules. They are adhering to the health and safety regulations and all the other mining rules and protocol. That's the bottom line. So he goes there being knowledgeable and being trained for that. Like a policeman. You know, sometimes when a policeman comes to you, they don't arrest you immediately. They'll just say, come to the police station. Sometimes it's even a call. They don't even come there. Some they have to deploy like a whole, I don't know, huge numbers to come and even arrest you. So you go there as an inspector, whatever you see, sometimes you just give a warning. There are all kinds of sanctions, okay? I may have to bring the chief inspector of mines or some of the senior inspectors to come also explain that. Sometimes they will have to impose a fine. And how much depends on the severity of what he's saying. Sometimes you just say, look, sort these things out, I'm coming back in 2 days. That is why frequency of monitoring by open office is very important. In certain cases, he has to shut the mine.
What about unlicensed ones?
Or I'll come to that. So I'm looking at you. I'm just telling you like what is the norm. Okay? What's the norm? The policeman must not wait for you to come and report a crime. So if you're a policeman, you are standing at a bus stop and you see 2 people fighting, you walk away. You may only walk away if you see that this may be dangerous or something. You even call for reinforcement. So this is a normal situation. Go out there and ensure they do the right thing. Stop, warning, fine, or shut down. What method you use or sanction depends on what you are seeing. That's number one. Number two, and that's where we also have a role to play. So I disagree with that statement there. Okay, that we don't have any role to play in illegal mining. It's not true. So the officer goes round. So again, my famous example, let's say Konongo officer or the Ninam reports, okay, the Achimodan officer, he's going around, so maybe he moves. And there are 3 ways in which the officers act. It's normal routine inspection work, okay? So this week, I'm along the Fantiakwa or Sino, whatever corridor, I'm going. So guys, let's go. So you are going with inspection. They visit the mines. On their way, they may chance upon people who may be doing stuff which he will know that it is illegal because they did the processing. Okay, I'll tell you how you address that one and the third one. The other one too is that he get calls, either from me, a chief, anybody, journalists, a story in the newspaper, like what you are saying, that I'll go and check. That, oh, there's illegal mining happening around the Trotro station or here. Okay? Maybe that day he's in the office doing his report, or he's going to another area. So the two aspects are not the normal thing. The normal one is the inspection. The other two has to do with where he chanced upon it. Because he's moving from maybe Osino to the next village. And then he saw that, oh, what is this? Let me go and check. The other one where he get calls from MP, you, anybody, or what you are telling me now. Then, clearly, those ones are illegal. What they do is this. Depending on the situation, sometimes the people are armed. Okay? Or if they are not armed, he goes there and then engages them, files his reports. And the report comes with coordinates. Okay? The officer is able to give with 100% precision that it is a Metro TV where Randy hosts the Good Morning, not even the other side. So they do all that. Okay? And then this is how the filing is done. He informs the assembly immediately. Then he informs the regional minister. He informs the director of small scale. It also comes to me. So, for instance, I saw in one of the papers, was it last week, that Dumso may happen in the Konogo area. I don't know whether you saw it. So I saw it in the papers. So I dispatched the officer there immediately. I mean, he got there in 15 minutes because that is where the office is. Then he filed a report to the police. The police went there with him. Do you understand that? They went there with him, and then when they went, I think they didn't find anybody there. So now steps are being taken to reclaim the place and fill all those things. So that is his job. So the moment he picks semblance of areas where illegalities are taking place, or areas that he's been informed and he confirms it, then somebody must take it from somewhere. So, for instance, now the police is aware. He's filed a formal report with the Konongo police about this pylon thing that came into the pictures. Sometimes these things are false, but when he went there, he saw that there are some excavations being done. The police cooperated very well, and they went with him, and they checked everything. And then they are working with the assemblies to make sure that the place is protected. You understand that? But, or as he drives past, he sees that some people have mounted the kind of thing you are showing, the chamfrans of those things in the water body. Do you understand that? So the information is relayed to DISEC or the appropriate security agencies that along this stretch of Ofin or Pra, some people have mounted what you are showing now there. So we are bringing to your attention, and we expect that you take steps to go and move them. Okay? So that is our role in the illegal mining conundrum, where we pass on information for somebody to ask. Okay? And then sometimes too, what we also do is that you go to see them, they are working, not in this kind of manner. The one I was giving when I appeared before the parliamentary committee, the one in Bilsa North and South, the just underground workings. Okay? It turns out that it's in somebody's concession. We've spoken to the last key person. He says we can give it. So we're going to organize them, give them their license, and then give them a good catch-up. So if you say that Minerals Commission is saying they have no role to play in illegal mining, it's not true. We have a role to play, and that's the explanation I'm giving you.
All right, okay. We'll end it here. Thanks you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Up next, Metro Sports.